You're listening to Love Talk Live with the relationship expert, Jaime Bronstein, only on LA Talk Radio.
Welcome to Love Talk Live. I'm your host, Jaime Bronstein, and today I have with me Kate Yurenda. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So excited to have you here. Kate is a very inspirational person, and she's doing lots of great stuff. So I'm going to read to you guys a little bit about her first, and then we'll get into the topics. So Kate Yurenda is the founder of Dream Bold Network, a conscious media production company. She is passionate about interviewing and collaborating with experts that have innovative solutions. She is the author of Good Guy, Great Game, Spiritual Foreplay, and The Rule Breaker. Kate also teaches the art of manifesting and Qigong, a moving meditation. She is the producer of a film called Searching for Superhumans and is working on several other documentaries that showcase human potential. As an energy healer, Kate believes that we can heal ourselves, our relationships, and our world with ancient practices, power of the mind, and energy cultivation. So, that's a lot. Before we get into the topics, do you want to tell us about yourself even more? Do you want to tell us how your background, how you got to do what you do?
Yeah, so I actually was in a doctorate program in Chicago, and I walked away to just do something big and different, just something that resonated more with me, because I had really gotten into the law of attraction. And so I just started doing a law of attraction experiment and, documenting everything with vision boards. I would email them so it was dated. And then things just kept happening so synchronistically, so beautifully, and just so divinely that it turned into such a big thing that so many other people started to notice. And, I just became so passionate. I had to write a few books about it, and it became my whole world. So I'm all about empowering people and just the human potential, because we're all superhuman. We really have these innate abilities. We just have to be aware of them first and then ignite that fire within. So, yeah.
It's so cool. I know, like, when people it's like ignorance is bliss. They're walking around, they don't realize that they have this power, they're searching outside, and all of a sudden you have this aha moment and you get all empowered, and it's amazing. So I love that you're inspiring people also.
Yes. Yeah. It's so fun. I just love watching how people light up when they realize, whoa, I'm powerful and I can create my life consciously, and, I can magnetize anything, and miracles, just whatever the imagination can imagine. We can go there. We can create that. So,
and
yeah.
We create with the universe.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Well, perfect that we were talking about law of attraction, because let's get more into that. That was one of the topics that we're going to talk about today. So let's just imagine that our viewers today don't know anything about law of attraction. Why don't we start from there? Because some people might have never heard of it. So basically explain it from your point of view.
Definitely. So law of attraction is all about aligning your vibration with your thoughts and your emotions, and getting into the frequency of what you want to attract, because we're all magnetic beings, and this is a very magnetic world. So it's really becoming aware that your thoughts have this electric charge and that your emotions have a magnetic charge. So it's this 24/7 process of putting energy out and then energy showing back up. We all know how this works. We've seen it, when somebody walks in a room and they just light up the room with their energy, or they walk in and they have the cloud over their head. We're creating our own frequency, our own aura, our own electromagnetic energy field. And then that's what's creating our reality. So this is all about just becoming aware, really focusing on what you want, what you desire, and putting yourself into a high vibration state, doing the things that lift you up, surrounding yourself with those positive people, and really just co-creating and being more, interactive with what's showing up in your life, and taking responsibility for what's showing up in your life. And it is a really fun process as well. I have so much fun with manifesting. It's just one big experiment, with energy. So it's fascinating to me. I love it.
Yes, it's fun to play,
Mm-hmm.
instead of I'm reading this book now. It's a spiritual book, and it's actually called The Game of Life, and it's about that we can play. And so I love the saying that you're experimenting, because I feel like people are really stuck in this fear, scared to take chances, scared to do anything different. And we have one life, and life is short, so we should play, right?
Yes. I teach the art of play. That's in all of my books, I think all three of them. It's so important, because when we're children, we're in this natural state of awe and wonder and excitement about life. Our imaginations run free. Nothing can stop us. We're very determined. We know what we want. We're very confident in our ability to get what we want. And that is what we're trying to get back to now as the grown-ups. It's that we get away from that innate state, and that's our state of power. That's our state of creation. And we need to be in a state of play and a state of relaxation in order to attract and create and to really optimize our innate abilities, So.
Yeah, I think people, as we get older, people forget that they have this ability to create, and they forget that they have an imagination. Like when we're little, we have this imagination, and the imaginations run wild, and it's so beautiful. I have a 5-year-old little boy, and just to hear him, how the stories he makes up, and he loves stories and he loves books, and so there's no reason why when we get older that needs to just shut down, right?
Right. That makes no sense to me. I'm like, wait, we left behind some of the best parts of being human, to be grown-ups, but that's the art of creation and manifesting. So now we get to tap back in. So this is an amazing time to be alive in that sense, is that we are waking up universally to our powers and what's innate and what really resonates, and getting rid of the things that have brought our vibration down, because individually and collectively, we've all experienced things that bring our vibration down. And now is the time to say no more of that. We're going to lift our vibes high and see what we can create. It's one giant global experiment right now. That's really where we're at,
What do you personally recommend to the people that you work with in terms of how to raise your vibration? Because once again, imagine people are watching the show, maybe they've never heard of raising your vibration. So what do you particularly advise people to do and how to do that?
I usually just ask them the thing that brings them the most joy. So for a lot of people, it's dancing or singing. If a lot of people, it's meditation or Qigong. That's a moving meditation. It's different for every person, and that's the beauty of this as well. We're each the artist. We have our own style, and so you just come up with your own manifesting style, your own ability, to create this like amalgamation of all your favorite things. Like whenever I'm manifesting, I do my favorite things. I put on my favorite music. I put on Dr. Joe Dispenza or Dr. Wayne Dyer. I'll dance around. I really let loose like I did as a kid. And the biggest thing too is just to be super mindful, to be in the moment and be present, because we get really hung up on our mind movies of the past or a mind movie of the future, but we miss the now. And it's really the power of the now and being in that just that playful state, that fun, euphoric state. So whatever relaxes you and lifts your vibration, your energy.
I like that you're bringing up being present, because when we are in the past, it's depression, and when we are in the future, it's anxiety. And so neither of those are very low vibing places to be. But when we are present, the only thing we can be is, and when we accept everything, I'd say, we're not like resistant or trying to push against the flow of things that are happening. When we accept and we're in that place of being present, that's where the magic is, right?
Yes, absolutely. And that's the state of receiving. The universe wants to give us so much abundance, but you're right. We create all this resistance, and we try to, take control over everything. And there isn't the art of surrender. That's a huge key component in creating and being more magnetic, and high vibration foods, making sure you get sun and exercise. Those are kind of more of the obvious ones. But I always tell people it's really important to just be aware of your inner story. Are you telling yourself, I'm an amazing creator, I'm a magnetic being? Because I repeat those affirmations every day. I'm so magnetic for everything I want and desire. And, really telling yourself a really life-affirming, empowering story, that's a huge piece of it. It really is.
Yes, I love affirmations and mantras. And, I think people don't realize how powerful they really are. And the cool thing about affirmations and mantras is that they're so individualized, they're so unique.
Yes, absolutely.
Do what resonates with you. Someone can't necessarily tell you what it should be. It's more like it needs to come from your heart and your soul. Right?
Yes, definitely. You have to really go inward with manifesting and see what resonates. I love to hang up, certain like signs in my house, in my home, or my car, whatever it is I'm trying to attract. And the I am statements are so powerful. I am completely aligned with my dreams. I'm completely aligned with my desires. Just really the I am thing. I'm just a magnetic being. I'm so happy. Just you keep telling yourself that enough, you start to believe it. So it's a lot of subconscious reprogramming as well. A lot of just ditching the things that pull you down. And that may be a toxic relationship in your life, or negative TV programs. I mean, we always surround ourselves with things and don't think it's a big deal, but that's the stuff that brings your vibration down and affects what you're attracting.
And I like that you just said these I am statements. And I use something called an ideal scene, where you make a heart in the middle. It says I am, and then you make spokes all around as your statements. And I'm wondering what you think about, so when I'm working with people, a lot of times I describe this as, it's kind of like faking it till you make it, because you do have to visualize it. You might not be there yet, but you need to at least feel a glimpse of what it's going to be like in order to manifest and visualize and everything. But it's so ironic because I'm always talking about being authentic. So I hate using the word fake it till you make it, but you kind of do have to push yourself to feel and live what it would be like in that other place that you want to get to, right?
Right. It's funny because somebody just mentioned that the other day. They said, I don't say fake it till I make it. I say be it till I see it. And so that's my new little mantra. Be it till you see it, right? and that's it. You have to get into a character whenever you want to get to a different place. If you want to become a better version of yourself, you have to get into that space within before you see it, attract in your realities. Because your personality creates your personal reality. This is quantum physics, and it's fascinating in that sense that we can just shift within and then notice that different things show up. It's really amazing. It's miraculous.
It is, and I love that you just sounded like Joe Dispenza.
Yeah, I did his 10-day cruise.
What?
I love it. I did his 10-day cruise in the Mediterranean, did his workshop, and it was life-changing. And I would recommend Joe Dispenza to everybody for sure. He's a great way to get into this stuff.
Years ago, I went to a conference in Chicago, and yes, I recommend it also. I mean, I was so impressed. Now we're going to plug him, but I was just so impressed by how hours and hours he's just up there talking, and it's coming from somewhere else, and it's just talking. I was so impressed by the fact that he could just do that, and like it just keeps coming through and coming through and coming through, and it's all brilliant. Amazing.
Yes, he's one of my favorite teachers with all of this because he adds the science and he makes it so logical, and he's just got a great way of getting you really excited about it and empowered again. It's a time for all of us to empower ourselves, but then empower each other and just keep reminding ourselves that we're energy beings. It's an energy world, and that's always been the story. That's never changed. Humans have always been creators and energy beings, and we just have to understand it and have fun with it. This doesn't have to be so serious. It can be really, really playful and artistic and just expressive. Just we're each a unique energy field. So play around with it. Really experiment.
Life is for playing and loving.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk. We were talking about, well, in your intro, it mentions Qigong. So can you tell the viewers, what is Qigong? Why is it amazing? What is it all about? Why people should do it? How they can do it? Where they go to do it? Go for it.
Yes. Qigong, it changed my life. So that's why I'm so passionate about it. And now I teach manifesting Qigong specifically, because when you add the movement component to manifesting, when you have you really relax your body, slow your thoughts, you shift from the analytical mind into your heart center, and you're matching and mirroring the movements of nature. You just feel connected. You feel connected to the infinite divine intelligence. You feel connected to yourself and connected to everybody else in the room with you. And I've just watched so many miracles happen, people that feel things they've never felt just from matching their breath to their movement, from slowing down and reframing their inner dialogue, and really, just stepping into this new space of energy, really understanding that there's all of this energy around us. It's not empty space. It's the quantum field. And so you start to feel more supported with Qigong. You start to really feel powerful. Like you just feel like, oh, I can do anything. I can heal myself. I can circulate energy within my body. I can activate life force energy and learn to project that energy out. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. And then you start watching your friends go, how did you do that? Like, I felt that. And you and your friends start to really experiment with energy as well. And it's really simple. Kids get it instantly. When they start doing Qigong, they're like, oh, I get this. Like, it's very innate. So that's a nice thing as well. It's a mild form of Tai Chi. It's existed for thousands of years. One of the earliest forms of healing. And I would recommend it to anyone. I do have videos on Dream Bold Network. So there are some videos on there if people want to get started. And then there's obviously a lot of other amazing teachers, but it is in that sense still kind of new to our society. It's sort of like when yoga got started and then now it blew up. We're going to watch that happen with Qigong as well, for sure. Yeah.
Would you like to demonstrate a little Qigong?
Let's
try.
It can be as simple as energy activation where you're just rubbing your hands together. This is called starting the fire. and you just rub for about 30 seconds. And we don't have to do it the whole time right now. I'll just show you a sneak peek. And then with your hands now, this is called igniting the fire. So a lot of the meridians, the energy pathways land in the hands. So there's a lot of acupressure points here, a lot of energy points. And then you can brush your fingernails together. I love this one. And again, you would do each of these a little bit longer, but I just want to give people a few samples and just sense and feel how magnetic you are. Feel your inner magnetism. And the more you do it, the more energy you'll feel. So this is the energy activation, but then you drop into stretching, more flowy movements, and that's more of the yin energy, more of the slow, calming energy. So you just come up with your own routine. The movements are super, super easy. And you just see what works for you, what you enjoy, and come up with your own little routine. And you can do it anywhere. That's the beautiful thing with Qigong as well. You don't have to get a yoga mat or anything. You can just do it sitting down. You can do it. I do it in line at the grocery store, wherever you are. I'm always activating energy. I'm like, I'm not wasting time. I'm activating my energy.
Right, this is unique.
Yeah.
That's so great. I was just on a podcast, and we were talking about how kids are just in their own worlds and they don't care what they wear. They don't care if people are looking at them. And so that would be a great, like, every adult should just do whatever they want. If they want to go like this in the line,
definitely.
Who cares, right?
Yeah, just have fun. Don't worry about what people think, just be in touch with your body, become more aware of your body, and that it's not just a physical body, there's an energy body. That's what this is all about as well, is realizing that there's more going on than just what we see, and that the energy body can heal the physical body. That's the beauty of it all. That's what Dr. Joe teaches all the time. It's that we can heal. We are powerful. And that's the exciting thing for humanity right now,
Yes, well, and getting back to Joe, we should let him know he healed himself. He was paralyzed. He was laying there. He, through his mind, heart, soul. I mean, that's how he got into all this. And he did happen to be a chiropractor. So he had a lot of education before then. So people you said you have stuff on, what you said, can you just tell us what your website is? Tell the viewers specifically what it is.
Yeah, definitely. So it's Dreambold Network. And so I put on there my graphic. Network. Yeah, BOLD, because we do need to dream really big and bold right now. And this is about taking it to the next level. So, I really try to put out creative content. There's a blog on there. There's Qigong videos, a lot of professional interviews, just other experts that are all about the same stuff, and to just have a fun, great way of teaching it. There's just a lot on there, a lot of content for sure, super content rich, and I'm just all about paying it forward and doing anything I can to teach any and everyone in as many different ways as I can. So you see me dancing on there, and then there's some graphic art. It's kind of all over the place. So it's just a really fun way to teach this stuff.
You're a one-stop shop.
Yes, exactly.
Now, you say you're teaching, coaching, let's say before COVID and after COVID, are you doing things in person in general? Do you do like individual lessons? Do you do classes?
Oh, well, right before COVID, I was getting more into teaching. I was just teaching in Mexico, teaching Qigong. I was trying to get more into that area of all of this, teaching more globally. But then obviously with COVID, I went deep into my writer's cave. I cranked out a few books, and I've been putting nonstop content together for months. And just yesterday I actually moved to LA. So I'm here, I'm back in California, and absolutely I'm going to be teaching Qigong classes. I think I'll be starting in Marina Del Rey on Mother's Beach, just outside in nature, and have classes there. And then I'll expand for sure. I'll pick up clients and get things rolling again. But I'm just very open to wherever, the universe is taking me at this point. So it's really good.
Well, it's obviously taking you to great places.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So a few more things. We kind of talked about the power of the mind a little bit, but maybe you want to get a little bit more into that too. We've brushed upon how we all have the power to create, to heal, to manifest. But can you talk a little bit more in depth about the power of the mind?
Yes. Because again, this is something that really changed my life, because I looked back at the way I used to think, and I looked at how my life was showing up and how I was feeling emotionally and energetically compared to now. And the only thing that changed really were my thoughts. It was the way that I was thinking. It was what I was putting my focus on, because our thoughts are so powerfully charged with energy that whatever we focus on, whatever we put attention on, we amplify, we magnify. And so I tell people all the time right now, are you focusing on what's wrong with the world, or are you focusing on what's great and the solutions, and where's your point of awareness? Are you directing your energy? And that's when everything changes, is when you start just changing the inner story, the inner dialogue, the narrative. That's what gets us in trouble in our own ways. That's what slows us down. That's what makes us feel insecure. It's a belief system. So you have to just keep monitoring those thoughts, keep changing that belief system, and you never stop. Like, it's not like you get really great at manifesting and then you're like, great, I never have to do this again. I don't have to monitor my thoughts, or no, not at all. You have to keep doing the work. And I think that's something that a lot of people may not talk too much about or enough about, is that this is a lot of work, but it's absolutely worth it. It's not just that you get it overnight. And I think with a lot of people, when they got into manifesting in the movie The Secret and things like that, they thought it would just happen overnight. And, they wanted that instant gratification. They wanted the quick fix to what was going on. But no, you have to keep doing it, because you're talking about rewiring what's deep within you, and you have to go deep. And I always tell people, if you start meditating, if you make even self-hypnosis tapes online, binaural beats, more of the sound healing, things like that, you'll notice the shifts within you. And you change the thoughts, you change what you're surrounding yourself with, you will change your life, guaranteed.
Yeah, healing is not for the faint of heart.
Right. Yes.
Work, it's messy, it's deep, it's not fun at all.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm a big emotion person. I attribute that to me being a Pisces. I don't know, who knows. But I am a big fan of just once you get in there, just having the good cries and looking at things and having your aha moments. It sounds weird, but it can actually be fun. I don't know if fun is the right word, but it's a gift. It is a gift to yourself. It's something that you take with you for the rest of your life. And then you know that you are living your best life possible. You never have to look back and wonder, right?
Right. I think it is fun to watch yourself personally evolve, and you just keep becoming these different versions of yourself, these expanded versions, and you look back and you see where you started and where you are now, and it's rewarding. I think that's a great word. It's just super, super rewarding, all of this work. And it can be bumpy at first and stir a lot of things up, and you're clearing out heavy, dense, stagnant energy in your body and in your mind and in your soul, and replacing those with those higher frequencies. So there, again, it's like building a house. You may have to do some demolition, you may have to kind of gut the house, but then you can build something, much more beautiful and inspiring.
And you mentioned something about it's not like one and done. If you are a conscious, introspective person, you're going to want to, throughout your life, keep on growing, keep on evolving, awakening, etc. But the good news is that once you've learned these tools, is that when something comes up, let's say a challenge, which is always our biggest teachers because we look at them as opportunities.
Yes.
And we can move through it faster than if we didn't. You kind of have to go through the boot camp and the how week.
Yes, it's so true. Yes.
as you go on. And also it's once we learn these things and the tools and everything, and we know better. So for instance, when we are in conflict with somebody else, we're able to rise above and see it for what it is. And so we know better, so we can actually inspire other people within our relationships.
Yes, very true. Very, very true. Yeah, and I always say this is the number one way you can bond in a relationship is to start diving into the healing world, the energy world. Just start trying these techniques together, and because you drop into your heart center and you're able to open your heart more, and it's very, very bonding to connect with someone on that deeper level.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I wanted to know for the viewers. I'm guessing I know some of these answers. When you recommended foods to raise your vibration, I'm thinking spinach, maybe some sweet potatoes, drinking lots of water. Is there anything else that maybe people don't think about in terms of what we're putting into our body to raise our vibration?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things with food for sure is to keep the things that are processed out of your diet, to keep the things away from the sugar, too much dairy, too much, we know the obvious things for sure. But then I'm all about superfoods. So for me, it's that smoothie in the morning, it's the seeds, the nuts, anything raw and organic that comes from earth. Does it come from earth, or did it get, run through machines and stored on a shelf for years? I mean, what are you putting into your body? Because your food is your medicine, or it's your poison. And that's a huge component in how you're going to feel emotionally, energetically, cognitively. And so it really is about cleaning that up. And again, that takes work. That's where there's so many different pieces to feeling spiritually and energetically, holistically whole. It's that you have to do all these different pieces. And that's a big one. That's a really big one. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't realize how important it is what we put into our body and what we do not put into our body.
Right. Exactly.
Thank you for bringing awareness to that.
Yeah, of course.
So important.
It's so important.
Anything else you'd like to add? Obviously, plug away with how people can find you, reach out to you, your books, etc. And then anything else you wanted to add to this conversation?
Yeah, I think it's really all on Dreambuild Network. That's my whole life. That's my soul. That's all I will do till the day I die. That is everything for me. It's so much fun and I love it. And there's so many different ways to dive into this stuff through that in whatever resonates for people. And I know the books, I definitely, especially with relationships, The Good Guy, Great Game, to help guys, to feel more magnetic, to be more empowered. I go deep into, the rewiring, the subconscious rewiring. I go into that stuff a lot. Spiritual Foreplay is really, really fun. If you want to spice up your relationship, that is definitely the way to do it. That book was really, really fun and exciting, high vibration to write. So yeah, check out the books. Absolutely. And just continue to watch because it's ever changing and it's growing fast and getting more and more traction and more, more and more amazing people like yourself involved in this stuff. So I love what I do and I really want to inspire people. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. You have so much to share, so much to offer. And I feel like people are going to be so inspired by this. I'm assuming it'll be calls or emails or whatever that is, people that sign up. So thank you and welcome to LA.
Thank you. Thank you, Jamie. This is great. Yeah, I would love to meet with you at some point in person. I know we'd have a lot to talk about.
At some point, yeah. And maybe you can actually come on to the show when the show is in person at the studio again.
Yes, I'd love that. Yeah. Thank you, Jamie.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a great night. And thank you everybody for joining us on Love Talk Live. And as always, you can find me at therelationshipexpert.com. So thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
You're listening to Love Talk Live with the relationship expert, Jaime Bronstein, only on LA Talk Radio.